Hi, I'm Carol Jurgensen Sheets, aka Carol the Coach, and this is my buddy Boo back here. Boo, say hi to everybody. We're here to talk to you tonight about using your voice. So many people, both men and women, are afraid to use their voice and express themselves. And one of the things that I know to be true is there are four types of communication. One is aggressiveness. And that's when you yell or you put people down or you actually intimidate and let people know how you feel. Now, you might have met somebody like that. I hope not. I doubt that you are one of those people, or you probably wouldn't be listening to me right now. But that is aggressive. On this end of the spectrum, we have passive. And that's somebody who doesn't use their voice at all. They let people say things to them, and they don't speak their truth. They're either afraid to, they don't want the conflict, they don't think they'll be heard. And so it's easier not to say anything than to give it a voice and share one's true feelings. Is that you? Do you tend to be passive? Okay, so we got aggressive and passive, and unfortunately, we also have something in the middle called passive aggressive. And passive aggressive is when you get people back behind your back. In other words, you get people back behind their backs because you want to get even, but you don't feel like you can share your true feelings, so you wait until they're not looking, and then maybe you gossip about them. Or you say something nasty and think that it won't get back to them. You don't have the courage to be honest about what you believe, think, or feel. And as a result, you're passive aggressive. Now, the last form of communication is the healthiest form of communication, and that is assertiveness. When you're assertive, you're clear and direct about how you feel, what you believe, and what you want. It certainly doesn't mean you get your way, but it does ensure that you were direct and clear and that you made your point. It's up to the receiver as to what they do with it. Interestingly enough, I was in a women's group. And at one point, we rated everybody in the group. And my colleague, one of my dear, dear friends, was rated the most dependable, the person that was trusted the most. And when we talked about what was it that made her so trustworthy, the group consensus was that she actually shared her truth. She was honest, she was upfront, and people knew where they stood with her. Now, I know you may be in an environment that isn't safe. It's not safe to talk about things that you truly believe in. And if that's the case, if it's really not safe, if you could be aggressed against, perhaps physically harmed, I don't want you to do it. But other than that, there's no reason for you not to share how you feel, what you think, and what you believe. Now, assertiveness can look a lot of different ways, but one of the things that I teach is that when you assert yourself, you use a statement that says blank. That's the name, Carol. When you blank, which is the behavior, Carol, when you roll your eyes at me, I feel blank. I keep it to 5 feelings: anger, sadness, loneliness, fear, or happiness. So when you roll your eyes, Carol, I feel angry because the message it sends me is, and then you finish the sentence. Because the message you send me is that you think I'm crazy. You don't take my word at value. Okay, so let's look at that again. The assertive statement would be, Carol, when you roll your eyes, I feel angry because the message it sends me is that you think I'm crazy. You know, I had a situation that happened like that when my husband rolled his eyes at me mucho times. And when I confronted him and I said, honey, why do you roll your eyes at me? You know, when you roll your eyes at me, I feel sad because the message it sends me is you think I'm crazy. And he looked at me quizzically, kind of like Boo does. He kind of cocked his head. And he said, honey, I'm giving you that look because I've heard that story 3 million times. So in actuality, even though I was interpreting him as saying, you're crazy, he was really giving me the look because he was tired of hearing the story. So you can see where if you share how you feel, you may get more information that actually gives you a clearer idea of what's going on around you. Now, one of the things I said to myself is, hey, if I'm making him uncomfortable because I'm talking about the same thing over and over again, I'm going to make sure I don't do that around him. It was a valuable lesson for me, and I hope it ended up having great returns for him. Because I have good self-esteem, it didn't bother me in the least. So, to improve your self-esteem, you have to be assertive. You have to have a voice. You have to deliver it clearly. And you have to do it in a way that is not aggressive. It has a neutral tone, and it's just matter of fact. So I want you to practice that. And again, that sentence, that assertiveness sentence is blank, which is a name. When you blank, which is the behavior, I feel blank, which is either anger, sadness, loneliness, fear, or happiness, because the message it sends me is blank. It's a really easy sentence. I want you to write it down, and I want you to use it a couple of times this week. Get used to using it, and you'll get used to hearing your own voice. And, you know, one thing I know to be true is when you're clear and direct about how you feel, what you believe, and what you think, you know where you stand, and other people do too. I'm Carol the Coach, aka Carol Jurgensen Sheets, and I am glad to be bringing you coaching skills that I think will take your life to the next level. Have a great week.